Meet my boy Taz. He's my baby. He wanted the chair for himself. Hi, I'm Anjolie, or Raw Jolie, the crafty eclectic. And today I'm here to talk about mono meals. What is a mono meal? This is a mono meal. And what is this? It is papaya. And it is very delicious. Want some? So I'm going to make a very quick video about mono meals. Not a lot of people know what a mono meal is, and not a lot of people know how to eat a mono meal. So I think I just want to share a little bit about my lifestyle. I practice raw vegan fruitarianism. Basically what I eat is a lot of fruit, and that consists of both sweet fruits and non-sweet fruits. Like the non-sweet fruits would be tomatoes. Something you would never guess is a fruit would be tomatoes, bell peppers, zucchinis, yellow squashes, cucumbers. Cucumber actually is more like a melon, and believe it or not, the cucumbers that we eat are not ripe. If we would let them ripen, actually you would not like them. They would not be very tasty at all. So we eat them in a partially unripened state. And so they would be classified as melons, and they really don't combine well with other foods, because in food combining principles, we always advise people to eat melons alone and on an empty stomach. And why is that? Because melons digest super fast. It can be digested in 20 minutes because it is a very high water content. And so the more water that's in our food, the easier and faster it is to digest. So a lot of people aren't eating easy, quick digesting foods. This will digest in about 30 minutes. It's got a lot of water, not as much as a watermelon or a cantaloupe or a honeydew, but it's got quite a good bit of water in it. And it's packed full of nutrition. There's a lot of potassium in here, magnesium, vitamin A, vitamin C, B vitamins, protein. You can get all of your amino acids. If you were to eat nothing but papaya all day long, you would complete your amino acid profile. This is a complete protein. The word out is that you need to mix rice and beans to make a complete protein if you're a vegan. You don't have to do that. Well, you might have to if you're eating that kind of stuff and you're eating cooked food. But when you're eating raw fruits and vegetables, or well, raw fruits, we really don't eat vegetables other than leafy greens, and sometimes we might eat some nuts and seeds. And we always soak those first and give them the chance to germinate so that they get rid of all the anti-nutrients that are in them. The things that cause them not to want to be eaten cause us distress. Okay, so mono mealing. I want to stay on track here. Why a mono meal? First of all, if you think back to our ancestors, and they walked the earth, they lived close to the equator, they didn't have access to fire or anything to make a pot of soup or make a smoothie. They just picked fruit and they ate it. And they would have stopped at a tree that was full of bananas that were ripe, or papayas, or jackfruit, or pineapple, or whatever. They would eat that one fruit until they were satisfied, until they couldn't eat anymore. And this is what I'm doing for my snack today. This is one whole papaya. Now, it was probably about that long and about that big around. And minus the seeds that were in the middle of it, I cut the peel off and I chopped it up And this gave me about 860 grams of papaya. And I'm going to have this as my snack, minus Taz's hair. So why have a mono meal, you ask? For one, it is super easy. You don't have to cook anything. All you got to do is peel it, get the seeds out of it, and munch out. You can peg out on this papaya until you're full. You can't overeat it. If you do, you have to force yourself. There is no overeating fruit. You eat until you're full and happy, and you stop. Because if you're eating a proper diet, your body will signal you that it's had enough nutrition. Not food, nutrition. Fruit is nutritious. It's dense with protein and fat and nutrients and vitamins and minerals. And well, not dense with fat or protein. It has the appropriate amount, but the nutrient level is what gives it the nutrient density. It's because it has so many vitamins and minerals in it that are easily assimilated into our bodies, that if you eat just one fruit, your digestive system doesn't have to think about what to do next. It automatically detects by the chewing. It detects what juices it needs to pump out. So when we start chewing our food, our salivary glands start producing saliva. And in that saliva is something called amylase. Amylase is the very first thing to start pre-digesting our fruit before it gets to our stomach, where the stomach secretes acid, or what they call hydrochloric acid. But we start digesting our food in our mouth. That's why it's crucial to chew. Even if you're eating a soup or a smoothie, it is crucial that you chew so that the saliva can activate the enzyme amylase to alert your stomach and everything that's working down there. I'm not a doctor. I've researched for the last 10 years. I've been researching food and a healthier diet because of my own health journey. So by no means am I an expert or a medical doctor or a research artist. Well, I am a research artist because I research my butt off when it comes to stuff like this, because I want to live the most healthiest, productive life I possibly can while I'm here, so that I can fulfill my mission here on earth. But that amylase, when we secrete that, then it notifies our stomach what it needs to, whether it needs to be pH, whether the pH needs to be low or high, whether the acid needs to be real acidic or whether it needs to be alkaline. Okay? So eating a meal of one thing at a time really assists in making our digestive system, making the work of our digestive system easier. Okay? But when we eat like most people in the world do, and I used to, a lot of people will go to a place like China buffet or something, you know, a steakhouse or any place that has a buffet table, and they'll fill their plate with all kinds of things. They'll have meat, potatoes, vegetables, breads, desserts after their meals, and they stuff themselves. And I used to do this too. Guilty in the past of doing that. And the end result was indigestion and bloating and gas that would make you roll over and cry, please stop. I'm sure you've experienced this. Especially if you have a spouse and you guys went out to eat and they ripped one off under the blankets and then rolled over. Holy cow. I mean, oh, been there, done that, and did not enjoy it. Can I say something to you? My shit don't stink. Yeah, I said that. It doesn't. Since I have gone raw vegan fruitarian, my poop doesn't smell. I mean, it smells somewhat because it's poop, but it smells more like the foods that I ate. What goes in comes out. And when I pass gas, which I don't do very frequently anymore, like I used to, when I ate a standard American diet, I was constantly farting and constantly burping, and it would smell horrible. But now I could walk through the grocery store and pass gas and no one would be the wiser because it doesn't have a smell. And if it does, it really resembles what I might have ate. It might smell like tomatoes. It might smell like papaya. It might smell like bananas. To a lesser degree, but that's a fact. And excuse me, eating a mono meal can really make your body more hygienic. It can make it smell better. Your breath won't stink. My breath, I can get up and not brush my teeth and still my breath does not smell. It's because I've been putting clean food into my body for a year now. And I eat mostly organic, but when I can't get organic, it's things that have a thick rind that I won't eat the peeling. So if I'm not eating the peeling and I can't find it organic, I will eat it non-organic. But I also will not eat anything that's genetically modified. So that's something else to look out for. But to wrap things up, mono meals. I have mono meals throughout the day. For breakfast, I'll have a mono meal. For lunch, I will have a mono meal unless I'm having a smoothie. And then it will be a very limited ingredient smoothie. It might be bananas, dates, coconut water, and baby greens like spinach. That's my favorite of all favorite smoothies, is coconut water, bananas, dates, and baby spinach. It's yummy, but I chew it. I chew my smoothie. It takes me about a half an hour to eat a smoothie, where some people can just gulp it down in like 5 minutes. It takes me a half an hour to consume a smoothie because I chew, and I chew at least 15 times to activate the saliva in my mouth so that it mixes with the food and it alerts my stomach what I'm getting ready to send to it, so it knows how to act and what to put out to get it digested properly, which keeps me from having indigestion, keeps me from being bloated. As a matter of fact, I've dropped a lot of weight eating like this, but I've gained a lot of health benefits. I don't have pain anymore. I sleep better. I think better. I can move and exercise. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting smarter. I'm getting clearer. I'm getting more connected to the earth and to the animals. Oh my goodness, all the benefits of eating a mono meal. So anyway, I wrote a book called Sequential Eating, How Sequential Eating Saved My Life and How the 80-10-10 Diet Saved My Health. I will link that in the description box so that you can go check it out. And it is a pretty detailed book about sequential eating and mono meals and proper food combining. And I give examples of what to eat and how to eat. That, you know, a lot of times we have to relearn how to eat because we don't eat like we should be eating. And that's sad, because so many people could avoid, oh my gosh, there's a blue Mustang, my favorite car. Yes, I still get sidetracked. Only by blue Mustangs, because that's my favorite car. Anyway, back to the thing. Yeah. It's sad that so many people are suffering because of their diet, when a simple change in diet can make all the difference. It did for me. A year ago this January, this is 2021. In 2020, in January, I went completely raw vegan, fruitarian, after being in the hospital in December of 2019. And I was in bad shape. I will not lie to you. I was in very bad shape and probably knocking on death's door. But because I wouldn't submit to the doctor's plea to operate on me, they basically told me I had to go home. They could do nothing for me. So I came home and I did even more research, and I fasted. I let my body rest. And then I slowly introduced watermelon and cantaloupe and honeydew and banana smoothies and nothing but raw foods. And it took me 3 months to figure out how to eat all those things. And I was eating nuts as well. It took me 3 months to finally figure out that if I ate things in a sequence, that I no longer felt pain after eating, because I would feel so much pain when I ate. And it was mostly because I was eating fat with sweet fruit. Now, there are so many there's so many YouTube videos out there that are having people mix nuts with their bananas, with their smoothies. And they're making all of these sweet treats with fruit and nuts, okay? That is a disaster waiting to happen if you are health compromised. But if you read my book, you will learn exactly how to eat. If you're having any kind of pain, I'm going to say this much, because you can read my book about my story, and I don't want to make the video that long. The book is a lot long. Hi, Gigi. Meet Gigi. So my video got interrupted a minute ago, and I'm going to pick up where I left off. We were talking about if you were experiencing any pain. In my experience, I was having a lot of pain in this area and this area. So if you've been experiencing pain in the right side of your body, around here, or in the middle where your stomach is, behind your stomach, then the chances are you are having some really serious digestive distress. I was diagnosed with gallstones, so it led to my pancreas not working sufficiently. And this diet, the way that I eat, has been nothing short of brilliantly amazing. After the 3 months point where I learned how to combine my foods properly and eat sequentially, and eat my fat as the last thing of the day and not mix it with sweet fruits, no more pain. I have been so happy and so energetic and so relieved to know that I can eat and I can enjoy my food. You know, I had a sweet tooth. Everybody has a sweet tooth. It's our design. We're meant to have a sweet tooth so we can seek out sweet fruits, not sweet chocolates and cakes and pastries and stuff like that. Natural, whole, sweet fruits. It's our species-specific diet, and it's a controversy because We have gotten so far away from nature that our taste buds have been condemned to a life of stimulants. But if you were to allow yourself the chance to reboot, you would find that all of these foods taste amazing. And when you eat your tomatoes and your celery and your bell peppers and squashes and stuff like that, leafy greens, you'll be able to taste the sodium or the salt, the sodium that our body needs. We don't need salt because it has other constituents that cause dehydration and all sorts of problems, but we do need sodium. And you can get that from your leafy greens and from your tomatoes and celery and zucchinis, yellow squashes, bell peppers, all those good things. I think even avocado has a little degree of it. But I would highly suggest, and again, let me give a medical disclaimer, not a doctor. Don't take my advice unless you research it yourself first. But what helped me was becoming a raw vegan fruitarian and eating only raw foods with a minimal amount of anything cooked. And I don't even cook the peas that I eat. I eat peas, sweet peas. They're the ones that come frozen. They really don't taste good in their raw form, so it's not an optimal food. It's an acceptable food. They're a good source of protein, and they're really tasty. I love peas. I've always loved peas, but the thing of it is I don't cook them. I warm them in water hot from the sink, and then I put them in my blender and make a pea soup out of them with some avocado. And it's super delicious to dip celery into, and that gives you your salt. But bottom line is, if you give your body the chance to heal itself, it will. And the best way you can do that is to introduce whole natural fruits to it and learn how to eat properly. Look in the description box below. I will put a link to my book. She's something. It's feeding time, so I must go. I bid you adieu. Click the link in the description box where my book is so you can get my book online. It's for a nominal fee, and it's really packed with a lot of good information. A lot of research has gone into what I have written in my book, and I think you'll find a lot of good stuff in there that's interesting. All right, be you, be true, be beautiful. Have a fruitalicious day.